Okay, so today we're going to go over some of the most common feelings that people have when they first get told that they have a hearing loss. And we generally go under the header of denial or uncertainty about their hearing loss. And one of the most common is that you find that people are mumbling. So it's not in fact their hearing loss that's the issue, but other people that are not speaking clearly. And that is true, that there are people that don't speak clearly, but when you have a hearing loss, it's very difficult to know is it a combination of the two, or is it my hearing loss, or is it in fact that the person just isn't speaking clearly. The other one that is very common is environmental. So they may think that the environmental is not conducive of hearing well. And again, it's very difficult to know whether a restaurant and the acoustics of that restaurant are causing the hearing loss or difficulty hearing, or because you have a hearing loss and then having a restaurant that's difficult to hear in, the combination causes you to struggle in that environment. And so we go into depth about that conversation with the person that has a hearing loss for the first time. One of the other things that people talk about is just the fact that, hey, I've been dealing with this for 10 or 15 years and I'm doing fine. It's hearing loss is painless, especially to the person that has the hearing loss. It tends to be painless. It's a struggle, but if your knee is hurting and you can't walk, you're going to take care of it. But with hearing loss, it's more of a inconvenience than it is something that you feel a direct pain. And so often people tend not to want to do something about it unless it gets to be really bad. Next one is about being frustrated, and this kind of goes along with what we call the pain would be for having a hearing loss, and that's constantly asking people to repeat themselves, missing things, maybe even not being involved, sitting in the corner and not engaging in conversation because you don't want to sound or make mistakes. Or even one of the more common things is that people will dictate the conversation, because if you know what people are talking about, then it's easier for you to hear. If you don't have the context of the conversation, it's much more difficult to put all those different sounds together and have a good understanding of what people are saying. The other one that we want to talk about is selective hearing. So I can hear fine when it's quiet. So why do I need to do anything about it? And we get this a lot, where people with hearing loss tend to make their worlds smaller and smaller and smaller. They don't do as many things, they're not as active, and we know that is not healthy in itself. The more social you are, we know that that is one of the main indicators of your health. You exercise, you're social, you eat well. Those are all things that add to your longevity. And when you have a hearing loss, we know that we tend to make our lives a little bit smaller and we don't do as many things. So that's a big indication that you need to address the issue. So why bother getting help if I only struggle in certain situations? I had this today. Someone came in and they said to me, well, I don't really do anything. I don't really go out. I'm just at home. So, yes, the hearing aids you let me demo, I heard much better, but I don't need them because I'm just sitting at home. And that should be an indication to you that, well, maybe you should be fit so that you can expand your world around you. And the last concern is about technology. So what if hearing aids are uncomfortable, or they may make things sound weird? I'm worried they'll be more of a hassle than a help. And I understand that. I think that, when something's new and you have to make a change in your life, we have all kinds of thoughts that go off in our head. And our job is to make things comfortable, but also help you perform the best you can in your particular lifestyle. So we'll definitely address those issues. And I don't know how much your hearing aids are. So, people want to know, what is the cost? And there are all different types of categories and technologies, and depending on those things, will dictate the cost of them. So, yeah.